gonna hurt someone. You're gonna hurt someone. You're gonna hurt someone. Stop. We're not trying to. Stop.
Take that down. You guys aren't allowed to do that. You guys aren't allowed to do that. You guys aren't allowed to do it.
Officer, come in and close. Serving people close. Here. I need the bullhorn.
Proud of you, Laura.
Hello, everybody. My name is Loomer. I'm a conservative investigative journalist, and today I'm here at Twitter in New York City to talk to you about social media censorship and the double standard that exists here at Twitter. Jack Dorsey at Twitter banned my account permanently on November 21st. I am a conservative Jewish journalist, and I was reporting facts. I was reporting facts about an Islamic congresswoman, facts about Sharia law, and now I am banned as a journalist permanently from Twitter. There's a double standard here, and everybody needs to be aware of this. As you can see on this side, that's Louis Farrakhan. That's a tweet posted by Louis Farrakhan. And on this side, that's the tweet that I was permanently banned for. Let's take a look. Louis Farrakhan's tweet was, "I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite." My tweet was, "Isn't it ironic how the Twitter moment used to celebrate women, LGBTQ, and minorities is a picture of Ilhan Omar? Ilhan is pro-Sharia. Ilhan is pro-female genital mutilation. Under Sharia, homosexuals are oppressed and killed. Women are abused and forced to wear the hijab. Ilhan is anti-Jewish." As a Jewish woman, I stand before you today wearing the Jewish star that the Nazis made the Jews wear during the Holocaust. What Jack Dorsey is doing with his egregious double standard by allowing for verified, hateful liberals and leftists and jihadis to spew their hate and violence on social media, while banning a Jewish conservative journalist like myself and millions of conservatives all across the country, he's trying to stifle speech in this country and ruin what makes this country the greatest country on the planet. And that's our First Amendment right, our right to free speech. It is egregious that nearly 70 years since the time of the Holocaust, we are now starting to normalize these. To think that even after the Holocaust, a Jewish journalist is banned for posting facts about individuals who preach hatred towards Jewish people, who call for the killing of Jews and Christians, but they allow for jihadis and radicals and people like Louis Farrakhan to post, "I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite." Well, what do you do when you have a termite infestation? You call the exterminator. He's obviously invoking Hitler, right? He's obviously invoking Hitler, calling for the extermination of Jews. He's calling for the extermination of Jews. Yet for Jack Dorsey, Louis Farrakhan's tweet in which he said, "I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite," that was not a violation of their terms of service. So here I am physically handcuffed to the door of Twitter. I am physically handcuffed to the door of Twitter because Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg and many of these other multi-billionaire CEOs of these left-leaning big tech corporations, they want to silence me. They want to shut me down. And I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving anytime soon. I'm not going away anytime soon. You are not going to silence me. This is not just about me, though. This is about the millions of conservatives who are censored and silenced on social media every single day. I'm going to read to you a couple tweets that Jack Dorsey has allowed to stay on Twitter. Would anybody like a copy? I have here thousands of examples of tweets that are still on Twitter today, from verified liberals, verified Muslims, verified anybody who isn't conservative, right? Spewing hatred, saying things like, I'll admit it, I hate white people. Fuck white people. Goddamn white people are the worst. Kill all white people. I'm not anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite. I mean, this is all still on Twitter. All of these tweets right here are still on Twitter. Jack Dorsey won't remove those. According to Twitter, it's okay if you want to preach hate against the Jews. It's okay if you want to preach hate against white people. It's okay, according to Jack Dorsey, if you want to preach hate against conservatives, right? You don't get banned for that. That's not a violation of the terms of service. But if you're a Jewish conservative journalist like myself exposing these people, these leftists, or if you are just a conservative in general, you'll be silenced, you'll be shut down. You'll be silenced, you'll be shut down. And I'm here today, and you can see the back of my sweater, to tell Jack Dorsey to stop the bias. Stop the bias of conservatives, Jack Dorsey. Stop the bias of conservatives on your platform. Stop the bias all around the world, Jack Dorsey. Millions of conservatives have been shut down and censored. Our brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom have to fear for arrest. They have to fear that they're going to have their doors knocked down in the middle of the night if they post wrong things. If they criticize Islam or Sharia, they fear, just like Tommy Robinson did, when he simply wanted to raise awareness about Muslim rape gangs, which was well documented in the courts, and then the police knocked his door down, they arrested him, and they sent him to jail. They sent him to jail where he was starved, he was tortured, and he was abused by Muslim gang members. They intentionally put Tommy Robinson in a prison cell next to the people who he was trying to expose on social media. And he had to endure all of this punishment and torture, human rights violations, because our social media companies, Twitter, Facebook, Apple, Google, Instagram, they are essentially upholding Sharia. Silicon Valley is essentially upholding Sharia when they decide to ban me for posting facts about Islam, when they decide to ban me for posting facts about Sharia law or criticizing an anti-Jewish Muslim congresswoman. This is America. We have a United States Constitution, and Sharia law is completely incompatible with our United States Constitution. And here I am, physically handcuffed. You know, if Jack Dorsey wants to come outside, I would love to know, Jack, why it's okay for people to say things like they want to assassinate President Trump. I want to shoot Trump in the head. Fuck white people. All white people are racist. God, can someone just shoot Trump already? I mean, why is this allowed on Twitter, Jack Dorsey? I want to know how that is hate, how that's not hate speech, but my tweet up there, isn't it ironic how the Twitter moments used to celebrate women, LGBTQ, and minorities is a picture of Ilhan Omar. And I had a sign here that I wanted to show you guys, but Twitter confiscated it. So already, here in America, you know, I have a right to protest. I have a right to peacefully protest here. And I can't even protest because even on the outside, Jack Dorsey is sending his goons to confiscate my sign. I want to know why Jew hatred is okay at Twitter, where Louis Farrakhan could essentially call for the extermination of Jews, just like Hitler did. But then a Jewish journalist is shut down simply for reporting the truth. I want to know. I want to know. And he won't give me back my sign. There you can see my sign right there. There you can see it. So for all of you watching, you know, you need to be aware of this egregious double standard here. You know, I'm here today to stand in solidarity with the millions of conservatives all across the world who have been silenced and censored by these big tech corporations, by people like Jack Dorsey and people like Mark Zuckerberg, simply because they're conservative, right? Silicon Valley is trying to regulate speech. They're trying to destroy our First Amendment right. And I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to leave. You know, Jack Dorsey kicked me off Twitter, but here I am, literally locked to Twitter now. So what are they going to do about it?
Hi, Laura. I'm Danielle, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that you will stay trained to Twitter? Do you think they will arrest you? What do you think is going to happen from
Well, the
this?
police are showing up right now, so I don't know. Maybe I will get arrested, but I'm willing to go to jail, just like Tommy Robinson went to jail. You know, I'm willing to go to jail to fight for my country, to fight for the rights of the millions of conservatives all around the world who are being censored and controlled and manipulated by people here in this building, by people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg, who think that they can silence people like me, silence people like you, silence anybody simply because they don't agree with what we have to say.
Do
right?
you think that you were the most radical person on Twitter who, you know...
No, look at my tweet and compare that. Louis Farrakhan posted, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite, and then he wasn't kicked off Twitter, but then here's my tweet. Isn't it ironic how the Twitter moment used to celebrate women, LGBTQ minorities?
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi, officer. How?
Hi. Are you protesting?
Yeah, Twitter.
Let me stop you 1 second.
Yeah.
So you're being recorded just like you guys are recording me?
Yes.
You cannot block the door. You could stand
Well, they can come
from
out.
that part. You must move from the door.
Well,
It's not a request.
I'm handcuffed.
You have keys. I suggest you take them off.
You can try taking them off. I don't know if they're going to come off.
Tape the key thing or whatever. What happened is you come take them on yourself. You understand?
You're going to end up getting arrested if you don't remove it.
You guys can film. Just step
Step
back.
back, please.
I'm not going to remove the handcuffs until, until Jack Dorsey
It's
reinstates
not
me
gonna
on
go. It's
Twitter.
thing. You gotta put like you gotta call an issue or something.
That's great.
Well, tell me why you're here while we're sitting here, man.
Well, Jack Dorsey permanently banned me on Twitter, and as you can see, I'm just a Jewish journalist, and he banned me simply because I was exposing Jew hatred and anti-Semitism and speaking out. I was speaking out. It's okay. You know?
All right, you're still
Do
speaking out now, and you're still doing your
you guys
message.
think it's okay for terrorist organizations
You know what?
like
Twitter
Hamas
isn't
and
the
Muslim
only thing for
Brotherhood?
media. Like the other day, what was the guy who had a problem with the president's press credentials?
all owned by the
It's
same.
a better
I was
way for you to
banned.
do that than
We're all
change
owned by
things
the
to
same
open.
group.
It's okay.
And you're still getting your message out there now, right?
I don't want it on.
Excuse me, sir. Just move back just a little bit. You can still film. That's not a problem. No problem. Just a little bit. So thank you.
Then they just call the issue.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's like something you could do with a paper clip. We just have the issue.
Sit back.
I'm not taking these handcuffs off. I want to know why Jack Dorsey permanently banned me on Twitter for hate speech, but he won't ban Louis Farrakhan. I want to know, Jack Dorsey, why? How is it that calling out Jew hatred, homophobia, and women's abuses under Sharia law is hate speech, but Louis Farrakhan, the leader of Nation of Islam, is allowed to tweet, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite? Is that your policy at Twitter, Jack Dorsey? Do you have a policy that it's okay to call Jews termites, but that Jewish journalists like myself are not allowed to report the truth? I had 265,000 followers, and now I have been silenced in a targeted attack of political warfare. This is an act of political warfare on behalf of these big tech social media companies. They are silencing conservatives like myself. And on September 5th, 2018, I confronted Jack Dorsey during the congressional hearing on social media. And I called him out for his censorship and shadow banning of conservatives. And I warned President Trump, please help us before it is too late. Because the Democrats want to steal the election, they want to sway the election, and they're going to accomplish that by getting people like Jack Dorsey of Twitter and Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook to silence us on social media. Every single week, prominent conservative influencers like myself are being shut down on social media. Every single week. First they came for Chuck Johnson. Then they came for Milo Yiannopoulos. Then they came for Roger Stone. Then they came for Alex Jones. Then they came for Gavin McGinnis.
They're ashamed of it.
Then they came for Tommy Robinson. And look now, even at Twitter, they're still trying to censor our speech. They're still trying to censor our speech. They're still trying to censor our speech and take away my rights. They don't want to answer. They don't want to let me know why Louis Farrakhan is allowed. That's my property. Leave it there. They banned me on Twitter, and now you're trying to actually steal my tweets in real life. Wow, that's incredible. You shut me down on Twitter, and now Twitter is still trying to steal my tweets and censor my speech in real life. That's my sign too. Does somebody want to pick up that sign and show everybody what it says?
I have her permission.
That's my property, sir. This is a human rights issue. And it's egregious that the NYPD is standing here trying to protect a Jew hater, Louis Farrakhan, you know? And you're not going to listen to this. You know, this is an abomination that here in America, here in New York City, where, you know, we had the World Trade Center attack. Muslims killed 3,000 people here on 9/11. On October 31st of last year, a terrorist used his car, he was a driver for Uber, and he killed 8 people. And I don't understand it. I thought people in America learned their lesson about the implications Sharia law has on 9/11 here in this city. But now Twitter, they want to help enforce Sharia in Silicon Valley by silencing Jews like myself, silencing Jewish conservatives like myself, while they protect vile Jew haters like Louis Farrakhan. How come that is not hate speech? How come that is allowed on Twitter? I want to know why that is allowed on Twitter, but my tweet, and you can show them, how come that tweet got me banned? I want to know. I want to know why in the year 2018 here in America, the land of the free, where we supposedly have free speech, why a Jewish journalist is not allowed to be on Facebook or Twitter simply because they report the truth about Sharia law. I want to know. I want to know why Silicon Valley is giving a pass to groups like Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood, CARE, designated Islamic terrorist organizations who all have Twitter and Facebook pages. How come terrorists are allowed to be on social media, but a Jewish journalist isn't? I want to know.
How come oppressive Jews constantly kill Palestinians daily? How come?
Oh. Who sent you here, Jack Dorsey?
No, I'm Palestinian. My mother and father were deported under the Patriot Act simply because they were Palestinian. You know, you're one-sided.
Why do you think that as a Muslim you deserve to have more free speech rights than I do? Why?
I'm a human being.
Why? Why as a Palestinian? How come on Facebook and Twitter, Hamas, which is a designated... You're a Palestinian. Are you here? Will you say that Hamas is a terrorist organization?
No, I won't.
No, you won't, because you support Hamas. Just like Ilhan Omar supports Hamas and refused to disavow Hamas when I asked her. So this is the problem here. We have people like this individual who's in front of me right now who are just like these representatives, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, who have refused to condemn Islamic terrorism. You have people like Linda Sarsour and Louis Farrakhan who advocate for jihad and the death of Jews. The death of Jews, and they call for Sharia, and they are allowed to use social media, but I am not. There is something seriously wrong with that. There is something seriously wrong in this country. In this country, when terrorist organizations and jihadis and people who are sympathetic towards terrorists are allowed to have free speech, but a Jewish journalist isn't. Is Twitter anti-Semitic? Does Twitter hate Jewish people? I want to know. Did you know?
That's intelligent.
Are you aware that
to a door and speak on a
the Saudi billionaire Prince
not allowing anybody else to
Al-Walid bin Talal
You know,
has
there's a lot of
more
victims. Who's
Twitter
speaking for the
stock
dead people?
than Jack Dorsey?
You know,
He doubled his take
I
of
can't tell.
Twitter stock in 2015.
my brother was killed.
So that's
I'm
right.
not speaking for him.
A Wahhabist Muslim man, a Saudi billionaire, owns more Twitter stock than Jack Dorsey. That is why I have been banned. I have been banned because Silicon Valley agents like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg are bowing to these Saudi billionaires. They're bowing to this Arab money. And what they're doing is they're now enforcing Sharia blasphemy laws.
Have you read the Sharia law?
Yes, I read 51, it says, oh, don't have the Jews and the Christians as your friends. It says to kill them. I am very well versed. Yes, it does. This Muslim man, this Palestinian man is trying to tell me that Quran chapter 5 verse 51 does not tell Muslims to hang out or be friends or befriend Jews and Christians. Can somebody please Google that so that we can read you? Because that is Sharia law. And that is the message that
I'm a Hafiz, man. I know the
Jack
Quran.
Dorsey is sending when he bans Jewish journalists like myself, that would allow for jihadis like Linda Garsour, Ilhan Omar, Louis Farrakhan, and others to be on Twitter.
Farrakhan he's not a Muslim.
I brought thousands of examples with me of verified hate. You can go on Twitter today and type in #verified hate, and you can see for yourself. You can see for yourself thousands of examples of tweets, assassination threats towards President Donald Trump, threats to kill white people, threats to kill Jewish people, terrorist threats. All of this is allowed on Twitter.
Yeah, because you have freedom of speech.
But a Jewish journalist, I don't have freedom of speech.
How not?
How come these people get freedom of speech but I don't?
How come you don't? Why don't you?
Don't let him distract you.
He's saying she's one-sided.
5,000 people.
Doesn't allow
Laura,
somebody to see.
10,000 people are on Twitter cheering you on, so don't let him distract you.
I am here today. This isn't just about me. This isn't just about me. Jack Dorsey banned me, and yes, a lot of people know who I am because I had 265,000 followers. But this isn't just about me. This is about the millions of people around the world, millions of conservatives who are being censored by social media companies every single day. This is about the millions of hardworking Americans who have been banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook permanently without any reason other than simply because they are conservative, simply because they are a Trump supporter, simply because they decided to call out Sharia law or expose Islam or talk about jihadis in our government. That should not be a bannable offense. I want to know why the terrorists and the jihadis and the Jew haters are allowed to spew their actual hate on Twitter.
Are you with us?
No, I am not.
All right. Who's not with us?
I am just one of few. They banned me.
This guy?
They banned Alex
Who else
Jones.
is with you?
They banned Chuck Johnson. They banned Milo
just you
Yiannopoulos. They banned Roger Stone.
Folks.
They banned Gavin McInnes. And they banned Tommy Robinson. And you're next. They're going to come for you next. And if we allow this to keep happening, if our members of Congress don't do something, if they don't pass some type of legislation before it is too late, there's not going to be anybody left to speak out for conservatives. There's not going to be anybody left to stick up for the Jews. There's not going to be anybody left to call out Sharia and jihad, because we will have allowed for these social media corporations to take control of the digital public square so that they can enforce Sharia and ban conservative wrongthink from the internet.
Jack is going under investigation.
And Jack Dorsey, who I, of course, confronted during the congressional hearing when I called him out for being a liar. And you know why? Jack Dorsey is a liar. Because when our members of Congress asked Jack Dorsey if he censored conservatives, he said no. Mark Zuckerberg said no. Sheryl Sandberg said no, they don't do that. But, you know, all you got to do is go watch the Project Veritas videos. All you got to go do is watch James O'Keefe's investigation that he caught them on camera literally targeting conservatives, admitting that they're going to shadow ban and censor conservatives. They were even caught on camera talking about how they targeted me because of my views on Sharia. I was unverified over a year ago because of my views on Islam, my views on Sharia, and calling out jihadis who killed 8 people here in New York City. It's out of control. It is out of control. But Jack Dorsey committed perjury when he lied to those members of Congress, and they let him get away with it. And it is time to put a stop to this. We need to stop the bias. We need to stop the bias because we are not Russian bots, right? We are not hateful individuals. We are not Nazis. We are not racists. We are not bigots. We are just conservatives. And this is America, and we have a First Amendment right.
off.
Who else has been banned?
I never would have thought that as a Jewish conservative woman in this country, as the granddaughter of a Jewish man who was arrested by Nazis in Germany, I never thought that there would come a day where I would be permanently silenced on the internet by Twitter and Facebook for exposing Jew hatred, for exposing Sharia. I never thought this day would come. I never thought this day would come that we would see rising levels of Jew hatred, that we would see, even after 9/11 and the horrors of the Holocaust, people giving into this, giving into Sharia, right? Allowing for jihadis and leftists who call for the assassination of our president. That is a crime. It is a crime in America to call for terrorism. It is a crime in America to call for the assassination of the president. But every single day, Democrats get away with it.
Not against the bill, then? You guys have been on the barrel?
Start. Look at these. Look at the papers. See them for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Share my message, you know? This is political warfare. Look at these tweets. Look at all these tweets. All of this verified hate that is allowed on Twitter. But if you're a Jewish conservative journalist like myself and you dare speak out about Jew hatred or the Islamification of this country, you will be banned. This is Twitter, you guys, where Jew hatred is okay. But if you're a nosy Jew, you're banned. I am not going to stand by and allow for people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg to continue silencing millions of conservative voices. It is unacceptable. This is America. This is not the Middle East. We should be upholding our First Amendment right and not allowing for the enforcement of Sharia blasphemy laws.
There's a lot more people here telling the story again. A lot more people.
So Laura, what do you think was most incendiary about your tweet that got you banned?
I don't know. My tweet obviously is just a fact. I mean, I can read it right here. It says, it's on the back. Can you see it? They took my sign away.
It's here.
Can you bring me my tweet, please? This is the tweet that I was banned for. You tell me, officer, does this look like hate speech to you? Does that look like hate speech?
No, you just get your message out. I'm here for.
I know, but I would like you to know, as an officer, is this hate speech?
That's what I'm here for.
You know, were you here on 9/11? Did you respond on 9/11? Did you see the horrors of Sharia and jihad? Did you see that? Were you here on 9/11?
You're not going to get any other answers from me. I just need you to get the cover.
Right. I find it unbelievable that in this day and age, in this city, here in New York City, Twitter and Facebook and Google and all of these big tech companies that line this sidewalk, you walk down the street, you'll find Google. All the big tech buildings are here. They are enforcing Sharia on Silicon Valley. And every day, people are wondering, why do I get shut down on social media? Why am I getting banned for posting facts about Islam? Why am I getting banned when liberals are allowed to call for the assassination of President Trump? It's just insanity. It makes no sense. Something must be done. We cannot allow for the normalization. And Mark Zuckerberg, we just can't. They're trying to influence our elections. In fact, big tech corporations like Twitter and Facebook have colluded to interfere in U.S. elections more than the Russians ever did. More than the Russians ever did by shutting people down. Did you know that Twitter shut me down a week prior to the midterm election because I was exposing high-profile leftists and jihadis, and my video investigations were so effective, I caused the women's Women's March to ask Linda Sarsour, who is a jihadi, a verified user on Twitter, a verified jihadi on Twitter, right? She gets to use Twitter, I don't. My video forced the Women's March to disavow Linda Sarsour and ask her to step down. And then a week prior to the election, I was suspended. And I wasn't allowed to, as a journalist in this country, put my political reports out.
So Laura, what are you hoping will come of your protest today? What do you hope will happen as a result of this?
You know, I hope that everybody can see that this is egregious. Regardless of your politics, I think that we can all agree. Someone please grab that. I think that we can all agree, if you show the comparison, who has the Farrakhan tweet, that if you get banned for this in America, but you don't get banned for that, well, the only thing I can think of is either Twitter hates Jews, Facebook hates Jews, right? Or they're biased against conservatives. So what is it? Why are you allowed to? Why is it that a Jewish journalist is getting banned? A Jewish conservative journalist is being banned from Twitter for posting facts, but then Louis Farrakhan can post, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-termite, Hitler was a great man, advocate for jihad, and then he is still on Twitter. He hasn't even been suspended from Twitter. Feel free to take copies, you guys. Before it's too late. Before it's too late. Why did I handcuff myself to both?
Why didn't you? You're still getting it out.
Well, I'm not trying to trap them inside the building.
It's a fire hazard.
You know, that's a fire hazard, of course. But the issue here is that Jack Dorsey thinks that by banning me as a Jewish conservative woman for pointing out Jew hatred, I was defending women, I was defending gay people, I was defending Jewish people from bigotry and from hatred, from homophobia, from anti-Semitism, and I got banned. But that anti-Semite, that Jew hater, Louis Farrakhan, is allowed to. You know, so Twitter thinks that they can shut me down, but look at how many people are listening to me now. They may have banned me from Twitter, but now I'm handcuffed to Twitter. And look at all of these people all around the world who are now hearing my voice. Jack Dorsey will not silence me.
Hey guys, I'm going to ask you to step across the street at this point. Miss,
I
know you have to step across the street.
Millions of conservatives around the
guys,
world.
you need to step across the street out of this off the sidewalk, please. Back across the street onto the sidewalk, please.
Why aren't we allowed to be on the sidewalk?
Well, here's why, problem, man, because we don't know what this is right now, so we're asking you to step across the street till we figure this all out. So we're going to ask you to step across the street at this point. Okay, sir? You need to step across the street at this point onto the sidewalk, please. Can I stay in the street? Because we don't know what's going on right now, so once we figure it out, that's why we have the sidewalk closed. So I need you to step across the street, please, onto the sidewalk.
It is. It
Hold
used
up.
to be public, right?
Guys, you put them onto the sidewalk, please.
Guys, do us a favor. You got it in the sidewalk. Ma'am, in the sidewalk. In the sidewalk.
We're not citizens. We're American citizens.
Guys, in the sidewalk,
Headquarters,
please.
so we cannot ask questions.
Guys, your foot on the sidewalk. Thank you.
So we're waiting over here to see what happens now.
Welcome to Twitter. Welcome to Twitter in New York City. Where if you call for Korea, if you advocate for jihad, you're allowed to have opinions. If you want to call out male genital mutilation, homophobia, and Jew hatred, you will be banned. You will be silenced. Welcome to Twitter.
back there. This is crouching.
On November 21st, 2018, Laura Loomer,
Very hard.
journalist was commonly banned
And
from Twitter for life.
finished.
And then she
And on
was released 30 days from Facebook less than 24 hours later. In another example of collusion by big tech giants to censor
And
conservative
deported
voices.
back to
The
Israel.
tweet that Twitter
Not
decided
allowed
to
to come
ban
back
her
to this
for life
country simply
was a
because
tweet
my
full of
father
facts
sent
about
money to
Syria.
our family.
It was a tweet directed at Ilhan Omar, a duly elected congresswoman, a public figure, which pointed out that her support of Sharia does not
Okay,
make
but
her an ally for
freedom of
gay
speech,
people,
there are people
Shemites,
that
or
work in that
Jews,
building.
and
It's just
Twitter
not a
would
Twitter
like you to
building.
believe.
What about the people who are just coming to work a 9 to
Twitter
5
claims to have a
job?
term of service that outlines what
No, what I'm
behavior
saying
is and
is she
isn't
has her
appropriate.
something
But it is evident they selectively choose how to enforce their rules.
He doesn't want to talk.
Let's look at who else was banned. Popular, influential, conservative, and libertarian voices, including Chuck Johnson, Marlo Yiannopoulos, Roger Stahl, Alex Jones, Dennis Simmons, Tommy Robinson, John Blondolo, and now myself, Laura Loomer. You know what Milo said about my pants? He said, it's not how high you are. What matters is how effective you become. The more people you convert and the more hypocrisy you expose, the bigger the target you become. That's why I was the first to go. And that's how you know this is accidental. It's political warfare. Right now, Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Apple all think that this needs to be stopped. But that's not true. If constitutionalists stand together and united, we can stop all of this censorship. If we don't allow for both sides of the political spectrum to be heard, we will quickly become a totalitarian state. This is how tyranny begins. Not with screams and bloodshed, but with compliance and silence. Despite being banned by Twitter and Facebook,
It's a very
I'm going to
serious
be
symbol.
launching more on Twitter. I now have accounts on 12 free speech sites like Gab, Minds.com, and BitChute, which will host all of my videos. And I still also have my YouTube channel. Well, for now, until YouTube decides to ban me soon. I have also now filed hard-based class action lawsuits that include many other conservatives and libertarians who have been banned and silenced by big tech, while we allow for leftists and jihadists to get away with much worse offenses, including just such as President Donald Trump. On November 28, 2018, Larry Klayman, who's a former federal prosecutor and founder of the Judicial Watch and Freedom Watch, amended the anti-Trump class action complaint he filed for Freedom Watch against leftist social media companies, Loomer, YouTube, Twitter, and
Excuse me,
Facebook,
sir.
Apple,
I don't mind you filming, just for your own sake. Sure. I'm with you, boss. Yeah, not a problem.
were agreeing among themselves and acting as a monopoly to restrain trade and discriminate against conservatives. This is what Larry Klayman had to say on filing the amended complaint. Added as the plaintiff today was Laura Loomer, a courageous Jewish female journalist who was just banned by Twitter and Facebook for criticizing a Muslim congresswoman. The retaliation by Twitter and Facebook as set forth in the amended complaint was not only a violation of our antitrust laws and other laws, but breach of anti-Semitism against the Jewish conservative woman. Ironically, the CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, is a card-carrying member of the Jewish left. And as a self-hating Jew, of course Mark Zuckerberg would sell out his own people for a buck.
Why will Laura Loomer not speak up about the Deadspin Awards happening December 5th at Irving Plaza? You can find tickets at http://www.deadspin.com. That site again is http:// www.deadspin.com.
Nice.
Do I need the S on the HTTP?
Yeah, for anybody who missed it, is http://www.deadspin.com to buy tickets. Open bar, December 5th. Why will you not speak up about the absolutely stacked category of Best Athlete Meltdown? We have Draymond Green and also Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul. And then there was a guy at LA Fitness who called 911 at a pickup basketball game.
Take a look.
Deadspin Awards, http://www.deadspin.com.
Anti-black racism, anti-Jewish hate, pro-Islamic terrorism, and assassination of President Trump. All of this has been allowed on Twitter. Jack Dorsey has allowed all of these threats and calls for assassinations against the president to be on Twitter. But then he wants to ban conservative Jewish journalists like myself, or just conservatives in general. I don't know. I don't understand why this is acceptable. What would happen, officer, if somebody were to make a direct assassination threat against President Trump? They would be arrested, okay? They would. So why is it that person allowing all these threats? You might want to take a look at that. You know, these are people who need to be investigated. Many of them are verified liberal journalists who live here in New York City. But they get to get away with it. If you're a liberal in this country, you're a leftist, or if you're a Muslim, you get to say and do whatever you want. But if you're a conservative, or if you're a Jewish conservative, you'll get silenced, you'll get censored, you'll be shut down for telling the truth.
Mobilization point is 210 East 33rd Street. Missing is a male black, 10 years old, named Jaheem Aiken. Date of birth 7/23/2008. Last name wearing dark blue, black coat, black sneakers, black pants, black lines.
No, we need to stop the bias, you guys. You see, we need to stop the bias. Just like I told Jack Dorsey during the congressional hearing. We need to stop the bias of conservatives on social media. And if you're listening to this feed, wherever you are around the world, make sure that you do hashtag stop the bias. Stop the bias, and you call these people out. And you demand from your congressman, and you demand from President Trump that something is done about this. It is unacceptable that in America, right, in the current year, that conservatives are being wiped away from the internet for posting facts, for simply having an opinion. They want to have an echo chamber here at Twitter, full of leftists, violent liberals, and jihadists. That's what they want. And this isn't just about me, you guys. This is about all of us. You know, we need to fight censorship. The First Amendment in this country allows for you to say what you want, whatever you want, as long as you are not inciting violence against anybody. And we all need to stand together, regardless of our political ideology, and fight to protect our First Amendment, to fight to protect free speech. We need to. We have a duty to call out this egregious double standard. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that this is allowed to happen here in America, where Jewish journalists are banned for calling out jihad and homophobia. I was sticking up for gays. I was sticking up for women. I was sticking up for Jews and Christians. And I was banned. I was banned. You know, this is a human rights issue. This is a civil rights issue. Silicon Valley is enforcing Sharia law. I would tweet about this, but I'm banned from Twitter. You know, all of you guys are probably on social media right now.
on my way back to the office, I was informed that not everybody heard the URL, so here it is. It is http://www.desmond.com. The reason that I provided the http:// is for the older computers or older models of phones. Once again, it is http://www.desmond.com. You can find everything there. It's going to be a great time.
You're Loomering Twitter! Laura, you're Loomering Twitter!
Yeah.
We're all going to be there.
We'll all be there. One of them will not be there. Be any more incentive to be there. I also get to speak about the Desmond Awards, which is happening next week.
It's the whole point of what she's
Please
doing.
do not silence me about the Desmond Awards, which are very important. I will not be silent for truth.
I don't understand why, like, all these tweets of verified hate are allowed on Twitter, but when you're posting facts about Sharia law, you get banned. Why are you allowed to say things like, I hope somebody shoots Trump in the head, or I hate all white people? Why are you allowed to say stuff like that on Twitter, but then if you're a Jewish journalist like myself, you get banned? Something is seriously wrong on Twitter and Facebook, all of these companies. Why are you allowed to call for the assassination of the president and not have your account taken down, but then you're banned and you're censored if you're a Jewish journalist like myself? Why are conservatives being shut down for posting facts, but you're allowed to post any of these hateful tweets? Why are you allowed to say kill all white people? Why? Why is that allowed?
10 Adam 1 on here. 10 Adam 1.
You know, it's really disgusting. Somebody's going to get hurt someday. You know, Twitter is allowing for all this hateful speech to actually be spread throughout their platform by verified liberals and jihadists and leftists, but then they're banning conservatives for posting facts and opinions.
Fox 2 on here. 10 Adam 2, you're still on a 51?
Stop the bias. Take some papers, guys. Learn about something, because you too will be next. Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg are going to steal your free speech and shut you down next. You know, this isn't just about me. This is about the millions of conservatives all around the world who are being silenced and having their rights abused. They're being shut down. They're being deplatformed everywhere on the internet. People sitting behind desks, liberals sitting behind their desks in Silicon Valley are determining the futures of people with the click of a button. They're banning you from doing banking. They're banning you from having a voice. They're banning you from using Twitter. They're banning you from using Facebook, from using YouTube, whatever it may be, simply because you're a conservative or because you call out Sharia or jihad. You know, this is wrong, you guys. This is wrong. Why is it that I get banned as a Jewish conservative journalist, but Louis Farrakhan is still on Twitter? Why? I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm anti-Semite. Why, Jack Dorsey? Why is that allowed on Twitter? You know, and maybe the mainstream media will finally do their job and report about this egregious double standard, because conservatives are being targeted. This is an act of political warfare. The Democrats in Silicon Valley, they're trying to silence our speech so that they can win elections. They are protecting terrorist organizations like the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas, which have verified Twitter and Facebook accounts, but then they're banning people like me, Jewish conservative journalists, simply because I expose Jew hatred, homophobia, and abuse against women.
Tell them how you feel, Laura.
How is it hateful to stick up for Jews and gays and women? I don't understand.
Are you going to stay out here all night, Laura?
As long as it takes.
Hell yeah.
As long as it takes. Hey, I threw away the key, and I'm here for the millions of conservatives who have been censored by Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg. I'll be here as long as it takes.
Are you cold?
Yeah, it's pretty cold outside. It's like, I don't know, 35, 40 degrees, but that doesn't matter. What matters is our free speech, right? We need to protect our right to free speech. Facebook and Twitter are now the digital public squares. Everything takes place on Facebook and Twitter. And to just decide one day that you're going to ban an entire group of people from the internet because you don't like their opinion, that's egregious. You're cutting off nearly half of the country from participating in dialogue on social media simply because you don't agree with them. And you know what? They say that there's no bias, but I really want to know. You know, you saw my tweet right here. What was hateful about it? Why is Louis Farrakhan still on Twitter? Does Twitter hate Jews, or is Twitter biased against conservatives, or is it both?
Keep going.
I want to know. Stop the bias. Stop the bias, Jack Dorsey. And look, you know, I'm here at Twitter, and I brought these tweets, comparisons, my tweet that I was banned for, and Louis Farrakhan's tweet, which is still up on Twitter. He has not even been suspended for this tweet, okay? And even now, they're trying to censor me. They took away my signs, they broke my sign, they took my tweets down so that you guys can't see it. They don't want you guys to know the truth. We don't want you guys to see this, and this is exactly what they're doing to me and millions of conservatives. They're trying to ban the truth. They want to silence us. They want to ban you from seeing the truth.
Free T-Mac.
Why else? This is a peaceful demonstration. Why else would you take down my tweets? Why are you trying to hide? Why is Twitter security trying to hide the fact that Louis Farrakhan is still allowed on Twitter, but I am banned as a Jewish conservative journalist?
They don't want to hear TM3K.
And for the members of the media who are here, take a copy of all of these verified death threats against the president, all of these verified hateful comments against white people, calls for acts of terrorism that are still on Twitter. You don't get banned for that on Twitter. But if you're a Jewish conservative journalist, or if you're just a conservative intellectual or a conservative commentator, you will be banned. You will be banned.
Don't let him silence you, Laura.
Oh yes, you have to create, actually.
This is the tweet that I was created for hate speech. Does this look like hate speech to you? Does this look like hate speech? Read it. This is the tweet that Twitter permanently banned me for. As opposed to that tweet, which is still on Twitter. Compare the two tweets for yourself.
Laura, go on Comtown.
This is the tree I was permanently banned for. Does that look like hate speech? Why does Louis Farrakhan get to say he's not anti-Semite, he's anti-termite, and not get banned from Twitter? How come he hasn't even been suspended, but then I get shut down a week before the midterm election simply because I'm an effective conservative investigative journalist, right? And then I get permanently banned. It's almost as if Twitter hates Jews and conservatives. It's starting to look like that. There are so many examples, right? Thousands of examples of archived tweets. If you go to my website, loomer.us, and you read my most recent article, Why I Was Banned, I have included 3 paste bins, and inside these paste bins are thousands of archived tweets from verified liberals and verified leftists who have posted assassination threats against President Trump. They've posted threats against white people. They have actually posted hateful, violent rhetoric, and it is still allowed on their Twitter. Jack Dorsey doesn't ban it. But not only was I banned, but I was also unverified. I was unverified. I was unverified. I was unverified for posting facts.
They don't like Bitcoin accounts either. What do you think about Bitcoin, Laura? Tell them what you feel.
If you're watching this, if you're on Twitter, make sure you tag Jack Dorsey and you say #stop the bias, right? Just like the back of my sweater says. #stop the bias, guys. We need to stop the bias of conservatives. Because here in Twitter, they censor conservatives. They're banning conservative Jews like myself simply because we post facts. How is this hate speech? How is that hate speech? I want to know. How come Louis Farrakhan is still on Twitter? Do you guys hate Jews? Do you guys hate conservatives? Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done about this egregious double standard.
The negotiators.
So you can contact Jack Dorsey, and you can ask him, I want him to stop censoring conservatives. If Jack Dorsey, you can be on the phone with Jack Dorsey, and you can tell him to stop censoring conservatives, stop banning Jews like myself, and I will leave. If he leaves. So maybe you guys should, because I want to know why.
Yes.
Look at this. They're making Twitter response.
She was banned from Twitter for like what? For speaking up for free speech. She's a conservative. Well, he tweeted that against Jews, and he's still on. Oh. And she like,
Is this Twitter? And I also want to know.
she's definitely on that board. It was basically standing up for Jews, freelance, LGBT.
Like this until Jack Dorsey.
She got banned. She's a conservative. She's a conservative. How many do you like? Laura Loomer. Loomer. She's no longer. I won't find her on Twitter. And Facebook banned her several hours later.
Just today?
No, she didn't. She's chained herself to the door until Jack Dorsey in the place.
Should be on the sidewalk. But they're allowed to go? What's up?
Why is those Handcuffs still on Twitter? See, the police officers now, for those of you who are watching, they're asking me how long they want me to be here because there's no way to really get these cuffs off because the key's gone, right? As you can see, there's no way. So they asked me if I want to be here all night, and it's getting cold, but you know that's what it takes. That's what it takes. You know, when is Jack Dorsey going to stop censoring conservatives? When am I going to get my Twitter account back? I'll stay here as long as it takes. What happens if you get hungry? Well, like I said, I'll be here as long as it takes.
I'll bring you a sandwich.
As long as it takes. Because this isn't just about me. It's about all of us. It's about protecting the First Amendment. It's about protecting your right to free speech. It's about raising awareness about this egregious double standard at Twitter. Where if you're a Jewish conservative journalist or if you're just a conservative in general, you're not allowed to have free speech.
You are.
No.
I can tell.
Yeah.
They banned me too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're banning. Raise your hand if you've been shadow banned, censored, or silenced by Facebook or Twitter. Yeah, a lot of people. Probably a lot more people watching right now.
Are oppressed until women are abused and forced to risk jobs and
They unbanned me now.
It's getting cold out here.
Sir, sit down. Sit down.
Welcome to Twitter, where Jew hatred is okay and you get a verification mark. But if you're a nosy Jew like myself, you get banned. You'll be silenced. You'll be deplatformed from the internet simply because you are a conservative. Or a Jew, you know? It sounds like Twitter hates Jewish people. It sounds like they hate conservatives. Because why is it that Islamic terrorist organizations that call for the murdering of Jews and Christians and homosexuals are allowed to have Twitter pages and Facebook pages, but I'm not allowed to, right? Isn't that weird? Isn't that kind of crazy?
Question for you. I know you guys are part of the demonstration. if you want, you see that area right there where she is? Would you like to be put into that area over there? It's not really, I mean, it's a demonstration area. It's not a, we hate to say the word pen. It's a horrible word to use. So is there anybody else with you that wants to go stand over there? Because we like to, we'll bring you over there once. The only thing we're going to ask you is, it's built out. You can stay inside of it. I just can't. You can't be reaching over with her and everything else. When we ask you, all right? So if you want, we're gonna walk you over there. You can stay over there with her. Because at some point, you guys understand, we're gonna have to remove her from the door. We're not gonna make her leave, but we can give you a demonstration area. That's what our goal is gonna be. All right. So whoever wants to go, we'll walk you over there now. You'll be closer to her instead of being over here. No, we got you. We got you. I just want to make sure who you guys are with.
Okay. Well,
so you could tell me, if you could tell me which group you're with, so who's in your group? Sir?
Laura's best friend. Sure. Laura.
You work for a company where they censor conservatives.
We could come over in the pen.
You work for an anti-Jewish company that allows for jihadis and terrorist organizations to have Twitter accounts, but then you're shadow banning and you're censoring and you're banning conservatives. You guys are evil. I'm not gonna leave. I'll be out here all night. I'll be out here for days if that's what it takes. You know? I want to know why I would stand on Twitter, but Louis Farrakhan still has his account. It's like really cold.
Just jump. I got 10,000 people on my Twitter, on my Periscope watching, sharing you.
Tell them I said hello.
They've been there the whole time.
And this is for all of you guys. This is for all of you guys, you know, because it is enough is enough. When are our members of Congress going to do something about the silencing of conservative voices? Enough is enough, all right? There is a terrible double standard that exists at Twitter, where if you're a liberal or if you're a Muslim, you're allowed to say and do whatever you want. Whether that's calling for Jew hatred, calling Jews termites, calling for terrorist attacks, inciting jihad like Linda Sarsour, right?
You ready for the
or even calling for the assassination of President Trump. And enough is enough. I'm not going to leave.
What do you hope people take away from this, viewers on Twitter? What do you want them to hear from you about what you're doing?
Well, I want people to start speaking up about the censorship and the silencing and the banning of conservatives on social media. I want people to start to ask, right? Do you value free speech? Do you value living here in America, having the right to say what you want? Or do you want to live in a world where the police could come to your house and arrest you at 3 in the morning and knock on your door and throw you in jail, where you will be tortured and starved like Tommy Robinson simply for having a wrong thing, right? A thought that someone sitting in their office here in New York and Twitter, or Silicon Valley, right, with Mark Zuckerberg in California and San Francisco, if they don't like it, do you want to have your life ruined, right? They are banning people on PayPal. They are banning people. My friend Faith Goldie, for example, was banned on PayPal. They're banning people and you're not even able to make a living now. They're cutting off people's revenue. You're ruining